Hello, welcome back to Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger. The date is Tuesday, obviously, April 4th, 2023. And no, this is not my new inflatable sex doll. Uh, his name is Wesley, named after my buddy that donated the funds to get this new training dummy, our new member to the studio. Um, I have talked about this extensively in the past, how we need a grappling dummy. Because while Bruce here is big and solid and very good for punching, you can't really do anything grappling related with him. Because he's sitting on a 250-pound base filled with sand. So yes, while I probably could flip him over if I want to, it's going to be a lot of work getting him back up, and it's going to be really messy. Now Wesley here, uh, when you depending on what you stuff Wesley with, weighs anywhere between 20 pounds to 50 pounds. It's about the size of a human. Although Wesley definitely doesn't really look very human. Look at it's a weird arm placement sticking out the chest like that, and it's really tall and a small head. Yeah, I know, looks kind of strange, but he has arms and legs, and you can pull off really cool grappling related maneuvers like this. Right? You can judo throw or hip toss him, or you can do things like this, right? Shoulder toss, stuff like that. Things that you can't do with Bruce. So, today's episode, I want to finally introduce you to Wesley, our newest member, the new grappling dummy. I stuffed him with a lot of fiber fills. That's cottony stuff you see in teddy bear. There's also a lot of old blanket, old towels, old shirt, pants uh, in there. So I did not stuff him overly full because I don't want the seam to tear uh, when there's impact or when I need to bend his arm or stuff like that. So I want to leave some space in there so there's room for things to move around. But he's relatively firm, especially the leg. Ow! If you wonder why are the legs so hard, it's because for him to get a bit of a structure and a bit of a skeletal stability, there's also a lot of cardboard tubes. You know the kind of tubes that left over from saran wraps and cooking baking foil in there to make sure that the arm, while you can bend the elbow, it's not going to squish on the forearm or bicep. Okay, so where there's supposed to be bones and not bend, it's not going to bend. Okay, that's what I did. Uh, Head is pretty soft though. Yeah, I should have done something about the head. I guess I can always stick a helmet on there. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Let me think about that. Anyway, so today, to celebrate Wesley joining the member of this admittedly very small training dojo, I'm going to finally be able to show you guys a grappling move. And from here on forward, we'll be able to do some, not all of them, because there's some grappling moves that still kind of iffy, even with a grappling dummy. But at least I'll be able to show you guys things like my favorite guillotine choke. What is a guillotine choke? Guillotine choke is when your opponent's head is down like this, and you have, so their head is about your chest level or lower, and then you drop your arm over the neck, sinking your armpit down to the back of their neck, and then like that, you bend your arm around the neck from behind like this. So the opponent is sort of bent over. I am also bent over top of them. So my chest is resting on top of their back. My arm is draped over the back of their neck, and I apply the choke this way. So when you do guillotine choke, you do not just squeeze with your arm. Okay, proper way to do a devastating guillotine choke is to wrap your arm around the neck and then stand up. Try to straighten up. Okay, bring your shoulder back, chest up. Just look at the weird angle this put on his neck. Okay, this is the standard guillotine choke, standing up. You can do this sitting down or on the ground as well, but we'll get to that in a little bit. First, I want to talk a little bit about when is this done. Obviously, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, but guillotine choke is a very devastating move. It's one of the Jiu-Jitsu move, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu move, that can be translated to uh, street fighting or survival, self-defense, to devastating effect. How's that, you may ask? Well, obviously, if I'm fighting someone, I'm not going to stand there and choke him and let him tap out. Okay? If I apply a guillotine choke on someone in a real fight scenario, most likely I am going to knock them out or break their freaking neck right on the spot. It's not going to be a submission move. Okay? Um, so First, what are the scenarios when we might need or when we can put this to use? Because obviously, when you're fighting someone, the person is not going to just like bend over and let you do your guillotine choke, and you never want to uh, jump for it, okay? Because in a fight, if you are reaching for that guillotine choke, if you're trying to grab the person's head, they are going to punch the crap out of you, right? This is, see, look at there's two fists right here. So if I try to reach, then I'm going to get it in the face, right? So one of the almost Johnny Tiger trademark for guillotine choke is either a roundhouse to the leg, or most likely, because I don't like to throw roundhouse kicks in a self-defense scenario, most likely it's going to be a groin kick, which, see what happened there? If even the dummy, even the training dummy, even Wesley, sort of folds over when you nail them in the groin. Real people do that too. Okay, I don't care how many people. I honestly have people tell me before, oh you can't beat me with a groin strike. When you hit me in the groin, that doesn't stop me. That just pisses me off. Okay, if you say that to me, then I will say to you, okay, you stand there with your legs open. I'll hit you with a groin strike, and then you tell me if that stopped you or not, right? If you really think that a groin strike from a 200-pound trained fighter like myself is not going to stop you, then you got some really overly inflated idea about your pain tolerance. I don't care who you are. The only thing is maybe you're high on something, but even then, I'm pretty sure if I get that growing shot in, you are going to bend over. It might not debilitate you, but you are going to bend over if I get this in there, right? So the moment the person fold over like that, I drop my weight down to the back of their neck, wrap my arm. Now we have the guillotine choke. But because this is a street fight, this is not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, rather than pulling up like this, once I lock this guillotine choke in, I'm just going to go right down to the ground. Okay, go right down to the ground and face plant them into the pavement with that, with all my weight coming down on the back of the neck. Okay, that's how you use guillotine in the self-defense scenario. Another time when guillotine choke become very, very useful is when you're fighting and the person suddenly do this lunging forward and ducking down, trying to grab your leg like this. And look at where the neck is. Right? The moment they come forward, I drop my weight down on the back of their neck, down to the pavement. Right? Not going to get back up after that. Now, this is just a guillotine choke with a slam, with slamming to the pavement. There are a lot of other things you can do with guillotine choke. Several very different variations, and we'll take a look at them in a later video. This video I want to more focus on the guillotine choke in a self-defense scenario. Another good transition for guillotine choke in a self-defense situation. Again, let's say we're fighting and I get a throwing kick in, he fold over, I lock in my guillotine choke, and from here, rather than, again, because this is not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm not going to stay here and continue for working on the pressure and try to get the submission. So rather than trying to go for the submission, from here, once I apply the choke, I'm going to step to the side. Okay, and what's going to happen when I step to the side is my choke will loosen up, but this set my knee up, boom, right to the side of the head. Okay, so we transition from guillotine choke, side step, knee to the head. Bye bye. Good night. In the next episode and the next following episode, I'll show you guys a few more variation from guillotine. But today, I think that is a good introductory with why I wanted to acquire a grappling dummy for Night Strike self-defense. And this it's going to be so much fun doing videos on wrestling and grappling moves. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll be back again tomorrow for some Wisdom Wednesday.